He was born on the quaint settlement of Lower Bow, Eleuthera on August 3, 1942. His father was a farmer who farmed a variety of crops: bananas, pumpkins, watermelons, citrus fruits, and more. And his mother was a homemaker who plaited straw. He was a brilliant student who did very well in school and started working at an early age. He obtained one of the first bicycles on the island and would use it to take passengers to the airport. He was also the first to ride a bicycle from Lower Bow to James Cistern. He fished and farmed and would harvest his own chickens. Light-hearted with lots of humor, he refers to himself as a quick learner and a fast earner. He eventually moved to Nassau and worked at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, then Ministry of Works, and then the Water and Sewage Corporation, where he wore a multiplicity of hats. In this episode of Bahamian Heritage Series, 80-year-old Mr. Nathan B. Cash.
My name is Nathan B. as in bread and Cash as in money. Born on the 3rd day of August 1942 in the year of our Lord. So help me God.
Where were you born?
And a quaint little settlement of Eleuthera known as Lower Bow.
And who were your parents?
My parents were, namely, Nathan Allen Cash. Mother, Elizabeth Wealthy. Elizabeth Cash.
Okay. And where were your parents from? Were they also from?
Yeah, of the same about address.
Both of them?
Both.
Okay. What was your mother's maiden name?
My mother's maiden name was Albury, Albury.
Okay. Do you know your grandparents on your mother's side, the Aubreys?
Yes, I known my grandmother who had lived 103 years. I had the opportunity of sleeping with her during the night. I could call quite vividly. One night she called me, say, "Come here, grandson. Say, I can ask the Lord to bless you right now." So I say, Grammy, you ready now? Say, yes, you can come in. And she said, she prayed with me. And she told me that you'll never want for nothing. Oh, hallelujah.
God be the glory.
Yes. I could recall that quite vividly. I'll never forget that.
And what was her name?
Emily Albury, Albury, Emily, Emily Albury.
Okay. And what about your grandparents on your father's side?
Well, I don't seem to recollect none of them, so to speak.
So maybe they weren't alive when you were born?
I think they weren't. I think they weren't.
Okay. Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do.
How many?
Well, I had three brothers. My eldest brother name was Wilson Cash.
Wilson, okay.
Yeah, because I do have my godchild Wilson, and plus one of my nephew is Wilson, right? I recollect that.
All right.
Lyman Cash,
Okay.
better known as Uncle Lime. And the other one is Hasten Cash. He had been gone next on January, making 20 years from he said, "Goodbye, old world."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have any sisters?
Yes. My eldest sister, she told me goodbye just about a year ago. Just about three sadness made her 1 year from she say goodbye.
Oh wow. And what was her name?
Her name was Joyce Neely. Joyce Lynn Neely. And I had another sister who had actually, correction, I'm making another error here again. The first sister name was Myrtle Cash. I'll make a correction of that. Myrtle Cash.
Okay.
That's my elder sister. And the second sister name was Joycelyn Neely.
Okay.
And finally, the third one would be Alice Newton, who just, Lord Almighty, Lord crochet this, who just gone a few months ago.
Okay, so it's
A
still
few months
sad
ago.
time. Okay.
Yes, a few months ago. And that they were my three sisters. So and it was four brothers in total altogether. But like I first said, the oldest one, I can recollect his name at the moment.
Okay. So there were 4 brothers,
Yes,
3 sisters,
yes.
and there was you.
Hmm.
So there was about 8 children.
Yeah, and absolutely.
And you all grew up on Lower Bowl.
Yes, I grew up on Lower Bowl.
Do you remember what the house looked like that you grew up in? Can you still remember how that looked?
Well,
And where exactly?
I reminisce it because I was up to Eleuthera for my brother's birthday party last year, September. The old homestead. I can recall it quite vividly. But since then, they did massive renovation to it,
Okay. So
and it looked more modernized now. You see, but in my gray cranium, I do visualize it while I was up there
Okay.
and what have you.
What did it look like?
Well, and at that time, the structure itself was sitting in a big open yard there. And it had, I recall, it had three doors. One on the east, one on the north, and one on the south. Now, with those 3 doors, there were 3 different families that walk out those doors, including my parents, my uncle, and my aunt. Because in those days, it wasn't too rough, it was far rough.
Wow, it was roughy.
Very rough indeed.
I guess everybody back in those days.
Absolutely. In other words, when you see a person with a two bedroom house, and they accommodate at least about 8 to 10 children as such.
Right.
Because actually at that time, it wasn't no money being made then. You know, yeah, just a little made the job wasn't available
Right.
at a particular time. You know, I was thinking the other day, I say, well, as I thank God that we had roof over our head, that my father, I sat right on the porch and I began to reminisce. You know, and to see whatever they had in those days, they actually used it in the best manner possible to make sure that they got a roof over their head.
Yes.
You know?
So what did your parents do for a living? What did your father do for a living?
Well, my father was a husbandman, and that's a technical word. You know, at least please forgive me because I use some small words sometimes. He was a farmer.
Okay.
He was a farmer.
What did he farm?
Well, he farmed varieties of crops, bananas, pumpkins, watermelon, vegetables, and a lot of citrus fruits.
Okay.
You name it, he had it there. He had it there, and what have you. And P.S. he used to wake across to Spanish wells, because the Spanish well meant they had the farm on the mainland,
Right.
And after salt, they used to hire the what you call it, the men from the mainland. Because I been a little youngster during the summertime, I used to go on Saturday and wait on the farm. And guess what? I used to be the foreman.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I used to be the foreman. I agree, you know, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
In other words, when you say during the summertime, you say now, for to get down, come in Nassau here, because you have 8 weeks. And therefore, you got to make your own money. So to go come and buy your school materials and what have you, you know, and buy your own bicycle.
Right.
And with that, I recall I was the first youngster with a bicycle, a touch and what have you. I even had a siren on it. No.
Oh, wow. You were saying
Oh
something
yeah.
back then.
Oh yeah. I know it's a PLEY. You believe that? Yeah. And I was a youth teacher, but every Sunday evening, to the folks, we'd go to the airport. Sometimes I carried 2 people on it. And that was my means of transportation. And I had ridden from Lower Bow straight to James Siston on my bicycle. I was the first one. 3 a week went up there. And I was the first one that conclude that particular journey.
Wow.
I was the first one. I could always recollect that.
How long did that take?
Oh Lord, that took at least about 2.5 hours to the most. That's for sure. You believe that? Yeah, that's
So
right.
what about your mother? Did she?
Well, my mother, she was a housewife.
Yes.
At that time, most of the women then,
Yeah.
they was in the straw plaiting business. You see this little head up here? This tote lots of straw, catch straw on my head. You believe that?
So she did a lot of that.
Yes. And those women, they go and they get together. Might be about 4 or 5 women get together and they under the tree and they plaiting. And when you see 3 o'clock come, they going home, they get inside and they going to prepare lunch or prepare their dinner. And everybody, in spite of those days, everybody had something.
Praise the Lord.
I said the pot could boil. Every evening the pot could boil. You believe it? And guess what? And on time, Sunday, after church out, you make sure by 12:30 that dinner was ready.
So what type of food did you eat? Like
Oh
what-
well, now, I ate a lot of the farm food and what have you,
Did your
and
father
plus poultry and what have you.
Okay.
Because I had my own chicken coop. I used to raise chicken and what have you. Yeah, I go and I wring the neck down and what have you. And when I see those chickens, sometimes they run behind me. I go. One day I almost flew in the air but just to catch one.
Right.
That's for sure.
So you grew your own food.
Oh,
and raised your
yeah,
own-
most of them.
Right.
Yeah. I would go and then I go to the all the way down to the beach and I go and throw my line of water and catch fish or get a little conch or a little milk like that. And I tell my mommy, say, look at now. I said, don't worry. I'll say, I will be bringing something back. And sure enough, oh yeah.
Where did you fall in that age? Were you one of the older ones?
No, I want the younger one.
Okay.
I want the younger one. But I had a head. You believe that?
Right.
Yeah. Another word, let me use the word matured head. You believe. I always like to be independent.
Yes.
You believe that?
So your parents probably taught you how.
Oh yes. So
Yeah. There was a school down there, right? You
of
went-
course, a school. Yes, a school.
Was it just a general school?
Oh yes, an all-age school.
Okay.
An all-age school. It was there, and I did well in school. You couldn't beat me with a licking stick. And with me, I'm a fast. I'm a quick learner, and a fast learner. And I was so good until I was made a teacher in downtown Liverpool.
How old were you when you left high school?
Oh Lord, at the time it's between 15 and 16.
Right.
You believe that?
So you started teaching after that?
Oh yes, early. Yeah, you start teaching at an early age because actually it was a shortage, and I had learned very well due to the fact that I had additional tutoring because actually the principal, we didn't call him headmaster then, right? And I used to be his messenger.
Okay.
In other words, they gave me the contract even to pick up all the government mail bags and what have you, and they used to pay me every month, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I told you had a new government, a wheelbarrow, and that was my truck. That
Do you
was
remember
my
what
truck.
the salary was for the teacher back in them days?
Oh yes. Well, there was verification, so to speak. Let's see now. It was about £1.10 then. Yeah.
You got that what?
Oh yeah. It's about it's about £1.10 and whatever at that time, and that was plenty money, so to speak.
Wow.
And then I did teach, and guess what? After I came in, I understood that there had been some vacancy to BEC. And the seven first man said, "Catch a man, useless man, youngster man. I like you, man. Where they come, go with me." And I fill out an application there. And the next day, I was employee of BEC, making some good dollars there.
Okay. So
You-
there was a BEC down in
No, I came in Nassau afterward.
Okay.
Yeah, after I came in Nassau, I should be the one responsible to light up the whole city then, me.
Wow.
That was my responsibility, to light up the whole city. Yeah, and I used to be on shift. I used to like that because I used to make some good dollars. Because actually, my reliever, he used to get drunk. And then when I used to take his shift. You believe just that? Yeah, I made some good dollars there.
So you left Lobo and came down.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
good job.
Oh yes, man, good job. And I left my footprint, left my name.
How
and
many
my
years did you stay there?
Well, I stayed there, that's about BC, about 4 years. And then the Minister of Works seconded me and said, we could use this man here, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Minister of Works also. I known all around. Only one place, and I didn't go down publicly, so to speak, is BTC.
Okay.
And finally, I conclude the Water and Sewage Corporation.
Oh, so you really did go all around.
Yeah, and I wore multiplicity, of hats. You name it. Guess what? I had framed it. You believe just that. That's right. And I did it because I was sharp as a Gillette razor blade. You see the man there from a prescription parlor? While he was, while he was in, what you call it, was away in college, and during the summer, he would come, and he would work under me, Dr. Paisel McNeil too, and another one who died, who would be a F&M, what you call it, MP, Fenton Nemo. I was responsible for their time.
Okay.
Me, Mr. Cash. That's what, you see, I could go get anything from Lower Charlton down. You believe that? Just my name.
Excellent.
You believe that? But I said, I had dealt with a lot. I dealt with the X and X, with the convicts and all. So I had a formula. I had to know how to talk to them and what have you.
Yes.
You believe it? I had dealt with the aliens, the immigration.
Right.
The Haitian them and one. I never one day. Flew down the off the handle and calling the Haitian. No, I never do that.
No.
I say, come, let me embrace you.
Yes. You had the upbringing and the
Yes.
technical skills.
Yes,
and
I
the
did.
experience
Mhm.
and the decency
Right.
to do it the right way.
Right. Some of those fellas couldn't even write. I mean, adult men, grandchildren, and I had the liberty, the patience. Like I tell the people, I have more patience than the outpatient department.
Yeah, they don't
And I taught them how to write their name, how to make sentences,
Nobody
how
got
to
patience
use the
no more
comma,
today.
the apostrophe, you name it. I taught them that.
You did it all.
I did it all just like Pat Paul. You believe that. And guess what? I had in my office a blackboard there. One lady.
You were a teacher.
Huh?
You taught.
Oh, yeah. One lady came and said, why you want to say, oh, Lord, that person really could write so good. And I had it blocked and blocked. And they didn't want to know how I get those words in there. But I did.
Right.
You believe it. To God be the glory.
Yes. And your grandmother prayers
Oh, yes,
never
ma'am.
ended, eh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's still going on.
Yes.
Like the song say, it's so different now. You believe
So
that?
your grandmother was a praying woman.
Oh, of course she was.
I'm sure you had a church home.
Oh, yes. At first, I used to attend the Roman Catholic Church. You know, the Roman Catholic Church.
Right.
But after migrating from home into the city, and therefore you happen to stray off and what have you, because there were so many different religion and all around. You're moving all around and along with people. Then you say, man, let's go visit this here. Let's go visit it. And sometimes you end up staying there.
Right.
You know where I'm coming from? Because I visited many churches. Now here comes now. I attend Calvary Bible Church on Collins Avenue. That's where I walked down the southern aisle as single and came out on the northern aisle as double. That's Calvary Bible Church, Collins Avenue.
Okay.
That same lady you see there. May her soul rest in peace. That's it there.
Okay. That was your wife?
She was my wife, not my knife.
What was her name?
Ruth, a biblical name, Veronica, and I gave her cash.
What was her maiden name?
You know?
Her maiden name.
Veronica.
Veronica?
Yeah, and then I gave her the name Cash.
Yes.
How about that? So I'm still free, single, disengaged, and offer aid, and right now I'm not hiring now.
You had children? Okay. How many?
One right there.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name is Kendra Cash.
Okay.
You believe that?
Just one child?
Yeah, sharp is the Gillette, eraser blade. You name it, that's for sure. Who is a language specialist?
So your wife's last name, her maiden name before she married?
She was a tailor,
Okay.
just like the brave tailor. Yeah, a tailor. Long Island, southern Long Island.
Okay. So you never went back to Lower Bogey, did you?
Periodically, and I did some visitations and what have you, Yeah.
But not to live.
No,
Pretty
no.
much stayed in Nassau.
Absolutely, Yeah, because
When
that.
you think of your life back in Lower Bogue, what were some of the things that you all did? Like when you weren't in school or you weren't working, like what was life like back then?
Oh, beautiful, man. Playing, and another way, the exercising and all like that, what you call it, flying kite, and another way, playing ball. You name it, and you I mean those high jumping, all, man. We used to do all those kind of things like that.
Did a lot of people live in Lower Bogue back in those days?
Well, I had a good many right there and then, at the time, it wasn't too many folks right there because most of the people then, they were, in other words, an age then, more or less, you see? Now, and then it takes the young people to populate. You know what I mean?
Right.
They are the ones. You know what I mean? So since then and everything now changed. But now around there now, and I think Bogue has the greatest population around there now. 'Cause a lot of young people.
Did your siblings, did they all stay there or they moved to Nassau as well?
Well, yeah, they came here. At least one of my brother, right next to, he actually after he had concluded his schooling, he came here and he worked, and he joined the police force.
Oh, okay.
He joined the police force and what have you, you know.
A lot of young men joined the police
Yes,
force.
at that time. And then my brother, the older brother, he was a builder, and Presley is a taxi cab driver.
Okay.
Or the Presley right now, he might be smiling. He might be right by the beach right now, looking for another fare before the evening go.
Okay. So you invested most of your working life in the government sector?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, a majority of it.
So you were a civil servant that truly put a lot of work into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, lots of.
We are so appreciative for everything civil servants did, especially back in the day.
Oh yes, man. Yes,
You know,
man.
they
Uh-huh.
really worked hard to develop.
Oh
this
yes.
country. What was the political climate like back
Oh.
in those days?
Well, and at that particular time, well, at least the political climate right then, it was the UBP. Now, we had one representative, one Mr. A.R. Brennan, who's from the Cow, which is the next stop to the south of us, just about 7 miles. And he was the representative on around there, and he did good at a particular time because everybody used to get favors from him and all like that. You see, and the age wasn't that great like today because actually we have more people. You see, and therefore the more people, therefore you have to dish out more. The government got to dish out more. You see, and when he used to come, and in other ways, come by the school and what have you, and throw down some money and what have you, ask your questions and all like that. But I was good, man. I nice to answer most all the questions, and I used to get a junk of the money. You believe, yes, that have about that. But he died now. Reverend May soul, rest in peace. But at least whatever the people had at a particular time, they had used it in the right manner.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the right way. They didn't squander it, but because they know for well it was difficult of getting it back as such, you see.
So how did you feel about majority rule and independence? Because all of those things came after.
They came after.
Right.
Yeah, well, at least.
It changed a lot of things.
Of course, yeah. A multiplicity of things had changed then, especially how we used to be, under Great Britain, and doing a thing called a holiday called Empire Day.
Right.
You know, the 24th of May. God save the Queen. You know what I mean? In school that, and therefore you normally observe that.
Right.
You see, but now, however, we no longer how to say that. You see, and so it had been at the first beginning, it was very hard to adjust. I had to take some self adjustment.
Right.
You see what I mean? Because actually it was new. You know, when you get into something new, even a relationship, therefore you got to tread very lightly. You know.
Where were you working when we got majority rule? Where were you employed at the time?
Oh.
Were you already in the government service?
Yeah. I was there with that. Yeah, and then I was teaching then. Then I came. I was there additional year, and then I came to BEC.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
did did that mean after it happened, was there a lot of changes on the job?
Yeah. Well, there's some changes. There's a lot of changes in what have you, Yeah, and then it's a lot of changes in what have you. This one get a position, next one get a position. Well, I was lucky to get,
So
one
those
to.
were positions that they would not have normally gotten?
Huh?
So what did that mean that some people...
Some of them, yeah. There's some of them, very how gotten it and as such, you see.
Right.
But and everything had been changed and what have you. Like the song say, it was so different then.
So do you think the country has progressed?
I should say, yes, yeah. In some way, it, I mean, it had a little hiccup here and there, and what have you, because nothing is perfect.
Right.
Nothing, because actually sent man in the front. You know what I mean? Because the only perfection come from God Himself.
Amen.
You believe just that. Come on now.
True.
You believe that, yes, like I said. Because actually, men are subject to error. You know what I mean? They're subject to error and what have you like that. Like you see today, in all countries right now, there are errors. Errors, no strikes. But there's errors. You believe that.
So if you had to give somebody advice based on everything that you have gone through in your life, from Lower Bow to Nassau and all of the things that you've seen and the changes that you've been through, what advice would you give to young people today?
Well, number one, I would let the young people know stickability, mannerism, love your job, love whatever you're doing, and try to be satisfied, and be on time, not THYME, TIME, on time, and respect your supervisor. It doesn't matter how young or how old he or she might be. Respect them, because it might be a time that you might happen to move up the ladder and you will like for them to do to you.
Yes, that's some good advice.
And P.S., I used to be a volunteer worker to the hospital too. Yeah, I did it, and I did love that. You believe it? I asked the doctor, I say, please extend that course for me to work in surgery. So they did extend that.
Oh, wow.
I could practically name just about every part of the human body. I do name it. Now kind of folks, they call me doctor. You believe? I tell them I'm no medical doctor, no psychiatrist, but a doctor of LOVE, love. And that's what the world needs today is love.
Yes.
You believe that? And like I told them this morning, I say no one is responsible for who is her father or her mother, or where he or she was born. No one responsible for that. And we should love everybody. Doesn't matter what is your ethnicity. To do right. Then you can't go wrong. That's for sure. But I'm happy, I thank God for everything. Every morning, at least I genuflect and I get on my kneeology and I give the Lord thanks. You believe that? People say, the cast, but I never see you imagine. I say, I haven't taken no course of Mariology, but loveology. That's me. That's me. That's me. You believe that? To God be the glory.